Hello, today in Basic Science, looking at the topic habitats. Habitat simply means a dwelling place for plants, man and animal. The place where man, plant and animal lives. The image on the screen is showing us a building. This is a habitat, a dwelling place for man. These are dwelling places for man. Then this is a dwelling place for plants or animals. These are dwelling places for plants and animals. So a habitat is just a dwelling place for plants, man and animals. Let's look at the types of habitats. There are three types of habitats. The terrestrial habitat, also known as land habitat, is a place where man, plants and animals that dwell on land lives. That's the terrestrial habitat. Then we also have the arboreal or air habitat. The arboreal habitat is a dwelling place for animals that lives on the tree or fly in the air. We have the image on the screen showing us monkeys. A monkey, the birds are examples of animals that dwell in the air or live on the tree. Then we have the aquatic habitat, the aquatic or water habitat. The aquatic habitat is a dwelling place for plants and animals that live in water. Now let's look at adaptation of organisms to their habitats. Adaptation of organisms to their habitats means the ability to survive the climatic condition of the ecosystem, predators, and other species that compete for the same food and species in a particular habitat. It is the ability of all living things to develop structural and behavioral features that make them to survive in their habitats. The features that make them to survive in their habitats are termed adaptive features. Plants and animals that live in places that suit them have features that help them survive in that habitat. That is what we mean by adaptive features of organisms to their habitats. And let's look at the adaptive feature that allows plants and animals to survive and thrive on land. Some of the features that plants and animals that live on land have that help them to survive on land. The plants have most membrane for gaseous exchange. The plants, the leaves are moist, and this helps them to exchange gas in the process of photosynthesis. Then they also have specialized cells to provide rigid support against gravity. Forces of gravity that can come from the wind or the heavy rainfall. The plants have rigid supports that helps them to stand, so that when there's a heavy downfall or wind, when the wind is blowing, it doesn't carry them away. So they have rigid support that helps them to withstand the force of gravity. They also have specialized structures to collect sunlight, which aids photosynthesis. The animals that dwell on land have limbs that helps them move about on land. They have limbs. They don't have fins. The animals that dwell in water are the ones that have fins, but the ones that dwell on land have limbs that enables them to move about. They also have the ability to conserve body water. Animals and human beings that dwell on land have the ability to conserve, to hold water, to retain water in their body. If they don't have this feature, they will get dehydrated and they will not survive, they will die. Then they also have the ability to reproduce and have early development on land. They have the ability to give birth to their kind, to their children. The ability to reproduce and have early development on land. They have the ability to survive rapid changes in external environment. When they leave an environment to another environment, they also have the ability to withstand the changes that might come with temperature or climate. They have the ability to survive rapid changes in external environments. Let's look at the adaptive features that allows plants and animals to survive and thrive in water. The plants that survive in water, that dwell in water, have spongy tissues which helps the plants move the oxygen in the air down to the roots. The plants, they have floating horizontal leaves. The horizontal leaves that float on the surface of the water exposes the leaf to the sunlight, and The water reflects light, so the leaves under the water gets less light than the leaves on the surface. So the leaves on the surface get exposed to sunlight, and then the tissues helps move the oxygen, helps move it down to the roots of the plants. The animals that dwell in water have, like the fish, they have fins that enables them to move about in the water. They also possess streamlined shape, which helps them to move about. The streamlined shape helps them to swim inside the water. They have gills, unlike the animals and human beings that dwell on land. The animals and human beings that dwell on land have nose, but the animals that dwell in water have gills, which enables them to breathe inside the water. Some animals that dwell in water have lateral lines to dictate vibrations in water. Some of these animals also possess exoskeleton to prevent desiccation. Let's look at the adaptive features that allows plants and animals to survive and thrive in the air. Animals like birds have their forelimbs are modified into wings. The birds have two, legs. Then the other one, which is the wing, is modified. The other limb is modified into wings, which enables them to fly in the air. Birds have hollow bones that enable them to fly by making their bodies lightweight. The bones of birds are not heavy like that of human beings or animals that dwell on land. So their bones are light, and this enables them to fly in the air. The birds have tail, and the tails helps them to change directions during flight. Their tails also acts as brake. It helps to balance them and helps them to change directions. Some types of epiphytes, some animals that climb, the climbers, the animals that climb trees, epiphytes such as orchids, have evolved roots that can absorb water and nutrients from the air. This has brought us to the end of this discussion today on habitats. Let's look at the assessment session. What is a habitat? State the types of habitats. Drop your answer in the comment section. That will be